and welcome to today's special playoff telecast from LCTV of Littleton Tiger High School football. They're in the state championship game for the third time in 5 years. I'm Mike Fontenelle along with Pat Frederickson. Behind us you can see the Gillette Stadium, the home of the New England Patriots, but really you can start thinking about it as the home away from home for the Littleton, as we are here for the third time in 5 years. Patrick, the first two times we played Cohasset, today we're going to play Middleborough, who come in at 9-3, but even with those three losses, they really have a high-powered offense.
Yeah, Mike, I think that the two people that you got to watch out for here, they got Gavuch at quarterback, he can really throw it, and they got Sewell at running back, and this is a kid that averages 14 yards a carry, so he can break it. He's a kid that can get in the end zone on any one play. I think that's going to be the key for Littleton. I think that offensively, Littleton should be pretty okay here today. I think they'll be able to put up points, and I think the key here is going to be to stop the Middleborough offense. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think, I don't think they're going to be able to keep them off the scoreboard, but I think if they can get pressure on the quarterback and keep them away from the big plays and get a couple of key stops, it's 10-minute quarters, so it's a little bit of a shorter game. So if they can get a couple of stops and keep that offense going, I think they'll have a good shot at getting their second title in 5 years.
Yeah, we've seen it before. Mike Lynn is an excellent coach. He's an excellent game coach. He prepares for his opponents well. I know that the Middleborough coach is very, very confident in his offensive line. So I think that it'll be interesting to see. We should have a good feel for this game by halftime and how this is going to go.
All right, we'll be back with the kickoff right after these messages from LCTV.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Welcome back for the kickoff of this state championship football game between the Littleton Tigers and the Middleborough Sachems. The Tigers won the toss, Patrick, and they decided to take the football.
Yeah, I think that pre-game we were talking, and I think that Mike Lynn feels like he can score. He knows that Middleborough can score, so he's going to put power on power, hopefully put up some points early, put the pressure on Middleborough, and see if the Littleton defense can hold.
Tigers are wearing their white uniforms. They're officially the visiting team for this contest. Middleborough in the brown and orange, looks like the classic Cleveland Brown outfit. For those of you who don't know, the Sachems are a Native American moniker. We came in this morning with the Middleborough cable television crew, and they made sure we understood it. It's the Sachems and not the Sachems or the Sachems or anything else. So,
most importantly, Mike, we know that it's Gavuch.
Gavuch, the quarterback.
We will be saying that name a lot, and we won't be saying it incorrectly. That's a good sign for us. What a day for a game.
Yeah, it's beautiful out. It's about 40 degrees. Sunshine's coming down on the field. Just a terrific day. Tigers kicking off the game, the first of 6 games today. They played 2 games last night. St. John's Prep from Central Mass won the Division 2 championship. Or Division 3, excuse me. There's the kick, and it'll get fielded on the run. Oh, covered up. That's all right, up to the 25-yard line. That was Kevin Frizzoli. The Tigers will take over 1st and 10 with the ball on about the 25 or 26-yard line.
Mike, you and I took a walk on the field right before the game, and until the sun hits the field, it's a little bit slick out there. I'm not surprised that first ball kind of scooted through nerves, but it's cold down there on the field until the field heats up, so got to be careful of that, especially on the right side, going from our left to right.
Tigers come out in the spread look. Will Scott at quarterback. He's got Frizzoli and Mitch Bowden at tailback to start off this series of downs. He'll give it to Bowden. He'll go up the middle, gets tripped up before he can get his feet going. He'll get about 3 or 4 yards on that. He had a hole there, Patrick. He definitely had a chance to get into that secondary.
Yeah, Zachary Jordan there shed a block, and Littleton had just got around Mitch Bowden's feet there. Mitch would have picked up another 5 or 6 yards.
2nd and 7 for the Tigers. This time they'll go to Frizzoli. He'll cut it up. And he's going to get stopped after a short gain. So good pursuit by the Sachem defense. And he'll pick up about a yard. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. They need to get to the 35-yard line to pick up a first down. They'll switch some personnel. Austin Lynn and Bradley Clark will come in. They're going to go receivers here. One guy in the backfield, Clark. They got Austin Lynn in the slot. Jackson Ellis out on the top side. We'll roll out. Scott looking down the center of the field. He's got a guy open. That's good for a first down.
Evan Lyons.
Good throw there by Will Scott. First throw of the day. That's good for about 15 yards, bringing the ball out to the 40. So the Tigers move the chains on this opening drive.
That's a great pattern by Evan Lyons. He just went back, found a little hole in the zone, sat down in that seam, and just waited for Will Scott to put that ball right on the numbers.
1st and 10. Go back to the run. This time Bowden does get into the secondary. Makes a guy miss. Picks up about 7 yards on that one. The Tigers will switch their tailbacks again. Looks like Frisoli and Bowden are at the set of backs. And then they're switching up with Austin Lynn and Bradley Clark. 2nd and 2. We'll bring Austin Lynn in motion, fake it up the middle of the clock, misses a guy, and he's going to get a first down, so he picks up about 2-3 yards, and will advance the ball right into just over midfield into Sachem territory.
Just in this first couple of minutes of this game, you can see the weapons that Littleton has at his disposal. Running 2 sets of backs in there, Evan Lyons, Austin Lynn at receivers. Got a lot of weapons to go for here. It's been their strength all year on offense.
Quarterback draw. Scott will cut up the middle, power forward for about 4 yards because the ball about the 45-yard line. It's a good drive pat right now. They've moved the chains twice. They're, definitely getting positive yardage on every play and keeping that Middleborough offense on the sideline for the time being.
If they can stay in 2nd and 6 most of this game, they're going to be in good shape.
They're going to throw on 2nd. Oh, they get some pressure. He comes out of it. Oh, but he does take the sack. Ultimately couldn't get his feet going. So some pressure there by the Sachems. And they'll get a sack. So they go from 2nd and 6 to 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Middleborough just get in there quick on a couple of different fronts. Not a lot of protection there. Will Scott never even got a chance to set his feet.
So the first play from scrimmage will win for negative yards. They'll put him into a 3rd and 10 situation. They'll look to throw. He's getting some pressure off the backside. He sets his feet, completes to Bowden, and that's good for a first down. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, both on pass completions by Will Scott. One to Evan Lyons, and this one to Mitch Bowden, the big guy rumbling down the middle of the field, doing his best Gronkowski imitation. And that'll move the chains. 1st and 10 with the ball on the Middleborough 37-yard line.
Keep the chains moving. That was a big play right there.
Now they're switching it up. They're bringing Luke Elliott in at quarterback, and they're going to go hammer right here in the middle of the drive. Good job there by Bradley Clark. Good pursuit. That tackler actually came all the way from the backside of the defense and chased Bradley Clark through the hole, Pat, and ran him down, but not until Clark had gotten 7 yards upfield.
Yeah, I think that shows Bradley Clark's speed off the line in those first couple of steps because Harrison LaPierre was coming in from that backside. Looked like he was going to wrap him up in the backfield and, couldn't catch him until he was 4 or 5 yards downfield.
Call it 2nd and 3, the ball on the 31-yard line. Counter handoff to Frisoli. And he's tripped up, maybe gets a yard out of that.
Interesting here, now you've got some options as well, right? So you're 3rd and 3 here. You don't necessarily have to throw this ball with guys like Mitch Bowden in the backfield. Looks like they are going to come on the hammer, though.
Yeah, they're in 4-down territory, so they're definitely feeling like they can run it on both downs if they have to try to squeeze this conversion out. Need about maybe 3.5 yards to go here. He's going to give it back to Clark. He'll cut up. He's very close to a first down. He's driving the pile. Let's see where they spot it. He's very, very close.
Looks like they're going to give it to him here from what I'm seeing on the bottom.
Good job by that offensive line. Yep, they do signal a first down. So the Tigers can, after taking a sack on third down, get the big completion by Will Scott. They switch styles, and then they pick up another third down conversion here.
That's two great runs for Bradley Clark. The kid has a nose for where the chains are. Both third down conversions, just getting over that line by a half yard.
Quarterback sneak right up the wedge pile, and he's going to get 5 yards out of that. That's Luke Elliott running behind Jake Kivlin at center, and Tommy Keenan and Brady Hunt.
I think the Middleborough front line right now is understanding why Littleton got here. Oh yeah, this is what they did.
Exactly. But again, it's just, you know, it's fascinating to watch them after 2 third down passes by Will Scott. The spread's looking great. And Mike Lynn's like, we're going to play 2 styles of football and make you defend both of them. We'll give it to Frizzoli. Cuts up. Trying to get to the outside. He gets run down, but a good game there. Short first down, but he's inside the red zone. They advance the ball inside the 20-yard line. They're going to have third and about 2. Ball right on the 19-yard line. We're playing 10-minute quarters today, Patrick, and we've already chewed up 6 minutes on this drive. There's 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think that's probably why Mike took the kickoff as well, right? 10-minute quarters, you want the ball as much as you can.
Third down. I'm going to give it to Clock. He's going to get a first down. Cuts it up very early, but because, like you said, Pat, he knows where the yard marker is, and that's all he's really thinking about is move the chains. If I get into that second level, I'll make a cut and try to go for pay dirt. But I got to get that first down first, and the Tigers convert yet again. It is 1st and 10 with the ball on the 13-yard line of Middleborough.
Staying the hammer here, it looks like Mike.
The ball is on section 13.
Coming counter is Clock, trying to make a guy miss. Oh, Clock continues to get positive yardage after contact, Pat.
Unbelievable. That should have been a 1-yard gain, right?
Yeah, it's a 5-yard gain. We'll call it actually a 4-yard. Yeah, 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5. Ball's on the inside the 10-yard line at about the 9. They need to get to the 4 to convert another first down. The Tigers with an impressive opening drive. They start on their own 25-yard line. Now they're down inside the 10. Inside handoff to Bowden. And he's tripped up over the pile. Picks up about a yard or 2.
Yeah, and a lot of this just falls on the Middleborough linebackers to get up there, because the offensive line for Littleton just goes low and tries to create space, tries to get a 1 or 2 yard window just to get the running back going, and it's tough to overcome, especially with that big line. We talk about it all year, but it's so hard to see from behind it. So a guy like Mitch Bowden you can maybe pick up, but Frizzoli and Clark, it's so hard to pick up behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to go counter. Oh, good job by Frizzoli. They went for the counter. He got tripped up, but he dove forward. He's very close to a first down. I think he's short, though, so they don't convert on third down. It's going to bring up a 4th and 1 with the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Gut check time.
You can hear the crowd understanding that very fact. Both sides standing up in the stands, ready to see what happens on this big conversion. They go quarterback sneak. Oh, he's got it easy.
Big pile.
Good job up front. That will be a first down to about the 2-yard line. They only needed a yard. They got 3. Luke Elliott, second quarterback sneak. Second time they got about 5 yards. It is 1st and goal for the Tigers in the state championship game with the ball on the Middleborough 2-yard line.
Great job by that offensive line to move. That pile was moving from the snap. I have a feeling they're not going to throw the ball here.
Quarterback sneak again. He's going to fall down before he gets to the goal line. He got some positive yardage. I'm going to mark the ball down to about the 1-yard line. So they got a yard. They need 1 more.
Like we're a minute and 15 and the clock's running here. This is really just a great first drive.
It's really just, I don't want to. Let's let them finish the drive. We'll see what happens here. 2nd and goal with the ball on the 1-yard line.
Here comes Bowden.
Oh, they'll go quarterback sneak again. He lunges forward.
Then
What's the signal?
He's in.
Touchdown, Tigers! The Tigers with an impressive opening drive, using up 9 minutes and 11 seconds of a 10-minute quarter, going 75 yards, converted on 3rd down 3 times and 4th down once. Switching up their offensive strategy in the middle of the drive. Will Scott, let's not forget, 2 big pass completions early in the drive to keep the drive going. And then Mike Lynn switching up his offensive style, and that offensive line taking over for the second half of the drive. And they are on the board, up 6-0. They'll go for 2 here. They're going to pitch it. Clock's going to get tripped up and denied.
We don't.
Do get turned away.
In there on that one.
Yeah.
Those 2-point conversions turn out big later in the game. Let's see how it turns out.
An impressive drive. Mike Lynn's got to be happy, Pat. That couldn't have gone any closer to the script he had in mind.
I think there was only one play that I'm recalling where they didn't kind of have their way. Everything else was 3 yards plus. Great job by Clock again, and Frizzoli diving for those chains when they needed to, getting something out of nothing. But you're right. I think that you got to be completely happy with the way that went.
Yeah. Like you say, it would have been nice to put the cherry on top with a 2-point conversion, but the fact that they used up over 9 minutes on that drive and got the score is exactly what they were hoping for. That's the kind of style we talked about. That's what teams in Central Mass would try to do against the Tigers, those sustained drives to keep the offense off the field. They weren't really all that successful at it because how good the Tiger defense played this year, and the Tigers kind of opting for that strategy here in the opening quarter and executed to perfection.
Yeah, you're basically down to a 3-quarter game now, and you get a 6-point lead. Thomas McGregor is going to send this one.
He'll thump it, and it'll roll and get picked up on the 26-yard line, and he'll get about a 6 or 7 yard return out to about the 34, wrapped up by Kevin Frizzoli. So the Tiger defense coming out on the field for the first possession against the Sachem offense. They run a spread, they like to throw it, they can definitely run it. They've got speed. Let's see if the Tiger size can put some pressure and control that line of scrimmage and make it harder for them to get those corners early and get some pressure on the quarterback if he is trying to throw.
Another thing working in Littleton's favor here is Gavuch has been sitting on the sidelines now for the last 10 or 12 minutes. So coming out cold.
Empty backfield. They're going to throw on first down, right down the middle of the field. Complete. But a good tackle there by Evan Lyons, but the ball advanced on the first play. They go right down the middle of the field, right down to the Tiger 40-yard line.
That's Harrison LaPierre who caught that. Mike Easy, the edge back defender that we've been making a lot of calls on. So he's clearly going to be going both ways today. Keep an eye on Jeremy Sewell, number 34.
He's the tailback.
14 yards of carry.
They were an empty backfield last time. Now they got Sewell lined up. And they'll make a read. Oh, they're going to throw a nice play. Oh, wow, terrific execution. They faked the run as like a triple option look. They could have given it to Sewell. The quarterback could have kept it himself. Instead, he throws into the flat, and they get up about another 19-yard gain. So 2 quick plays, and they're knocking on the red zone's door.
I don't think Littleton's been up against an offense that has so many weapons, but at the same time, we've seen other teams come out against Littleton, and they're the classic bend but don't break.
And that'll be the end. Believe it or not, that is the end of the quarter. The Sachem's run 2 offensive plays in the entire quarter. So at the end of 1 in the state championship game, the Tigers up 6-0, but the Sachems are driving, and we'll be back with second quarter action right after these messages from LCTV.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the start of the second quarter of the state championship football game. The Tigers, Pat, with an impressive opening drive, scored. They're up 6-0, but when Middleborough finally got the ball, they showed what they're capable of. 2 big plays all the way down to the Tiger 21-yard line. Yeah,
you know, we talk about Mike Lynn's clock management and using it up a lot of that first quarter, but I will tell you that the end of that quarter could not have come at a better time for Littleton or a worse time for Middleborough. Middleborough has moved the ball at will, picking up 38, 40 yards in 2 plays, and then you got to go to the bench and take a TV timeout. So we'll see if the timeout helps cool them off a little bit and start the second quarter.
Yeah, it's literally a TV timeout. We're back on air, ready to rock and roll, but NBC Sports Boston is trying to sell some more. I don't know, what do they sell on the... I don't think they're going to do beer ads today, but they're going to do cars.
I'm not buying it unless I watch it. Maybe I'll buy it.
So we'll keep talking while NBC Sports Boston gets their ad revenue counted for. Yeah, you're right, Pat. I mean, you know, Middleborough was on a roll. Now it's effectively a timeout, so Carlo Ferrante can, you know, let his guys know, let's think about this, let's think about that. We knew what they're capable of. Just do your job. And, you know, yeah, they're knocking on the door, but we're fine. We're up. Just relax and go make a play.
Yeah, they've done this so many times this year. You know, we have started games trying to be, you know, kind of excited to see a good football game, a team that's come down, and they look like they run a couple of good plays, a few plays. Maynard was the same way. I remember they came down and ran the ball pretty much at will. And then Littleton adjusts, and before you know it, they figured out the defense and slow down the opponent.
All right, 1st and 10 as we open the second quarter. The ball on the Tiger 21-yard line. Sagums have 3 receivers to the right. They'll bring a guy slightly in motion. They're going to run it, trying to get to the edge. Oh, good tackle. Nice job there by Evan Lyons, coming up hard from his defensive back position, but really it was Luke Elliott who wouldn't let them get the edge. He got upfield and locked up the blocker, and that gave Lyons a run to the back. So about a 1-2 game. We'll call it 2nd and 8. The ball on the Tiger 19-yard line.
The first look at Jeremy Sewell. Four wides, Mike.
Yeah. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Bring some motion. We'll give it to Sewell up the middle. He's stacked up. This looks like it's Jack Scaramucci right there with a hit at the line of scrimmage.
Mooch. Brady Hunt getting in there as well. Mitch Bowden up there on that front line.
No gain on that play. 3rd and 8.
You got to believe they're in 4-down territory too.
Yeah, they threw the ball on the first 2 downs, and now they've been running on the next 2 and really haven't gotten anything going. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down. I agree. The Tigers are going to have to get 2 stops here to get the ball back. Turn back the scoring threat by Middleborough. Empty backfield. Looks like it's definitely a throwing down here for Middleborough. Straight drop back. It's going to be a middle screen. Well, pretty decently read there by the Tigers. They get some yards on that, but not enough to pick up the 1st down. So it's going to bring another gut check down here, Patrick. 4th down for Middleborough. The ball is on the Tiger 15-yard line. They got to get to the 11-yard line. So we'll call it 4 yards.
And Brady Hunt came flying in there. I know Brady's running on a bum knee, but he must have been pretty excited when he got in there untouched, and then quickly realized that there's going to be a little screen in behind him.
Yeah, at that point he was committed, so he did the right thing. He tried to make him lob it to give his guys behind him time to get in position, and they did a pretty good job. They got a few yards out of that, but that's not what Middleborough was hoping for on that play. They certainly wanted to pick up a 1st down and maybe even score on that, but the Tigers on the backside stayed in where they needed to be and wrapped them up before he got going. Middleborough will take a timeout here on this crucial down. And this is the kind of thing, Pat, we talked about. You're right, a shorter game, and the Tigers shortening up the game. So if you get a score and a stop, you've definitely gotten the advantage, because at this point you could conceivably come pretty dang close to running out the half. And then that's really a 2-quarter game now for Middleborough's offense.
Yep.
So a really big down here for both teams. This could really, believe it or not, go a long way towards determining the outcome.
It looks to me like the Littleton defense all week, and I may be wrong, but it looks like they've prepped to keep an eye on Sewell. So the last 2 plays that gone to Sewell, they've really had him wrapped up. And Middleborough might have to look a little bit elsewhere to find some running room.
Sewell's in the backfield. They'll bring motion on 4th down here. They're going to fake the pitch. He's rolling out. He's got pressure for Fazoli. Fazoli's going to try and wrap him up. He throws it. Oh, what a catch! Right on the sideline. Oh, Middleborough converts on a play where it looked like they were going to get stopped. And instead, a terrific throw off the back foot all the way inside the 5-yard line. So first and goal, what a quick turn of events there.
Fazoli had him wrapped up, had his shirt in his arms, and the Butch just, I don't know how he got the ball out and got it on the money.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Let's see if the Tigers, that's got to be a little heartbreaking there. Let's see if they can rally up here. They're going to pitch it. He's going to try. He's going to cut it up. An easy touchdown there. 4-yard run. Like you said, Pat, they went for Colin O'Brien, who's not a featured back. But you're right. They were keying on Sewell, so they went in a different direction, and they got the touchdown after the humongous 4th down conversion. And Middleborough will try to kick the extra point here.
Both sides, great plays when they needed it most. Littleton with a couple conversions on their offensive plays. Middleborough with the one big play there. We're going for an extra point here, Mike. We don't see this much.
Oh, bad snap. Oh, it's not going to get there. Is it going to get there? No, it's short. I don't know if anybody got a block on that. It was a little bit of a shady snap there, and the holder had to bring it back quick.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody hit it. It looked like they just got under that ball.
So with 7:53 to go in the second quarter, the Tigers are tied at 6 against Middleborough. I don't know, Pat. I mean, you know, on the Tigers, I'm disappointed. Yet we had that play wrapped up. We had them turned away, so the defense was right there on that drive. And it really was only going to take 1 or 2 stops in all likelihood because of the shorter game and the fact that we're already into the second quarter. So hopefully the offense can come out here and do what they did on that first drive, and then the defense, if they get that 1 stop, we'll see if we can put the Tigers in the driver's seat. But they got to get it, get another good drive here. After giving up that big play and going 3 and out and giving Middleborough the ball back, that would be a tough turn of events.
I agree, Mike. When you get to this level of the game, the big players are going to step up. They're going to make those plays. You really got to wrap up. You really can't be disappointed. You read it well, and that's just a great athletic play by Kavutch down the other end. So we'll see if Littleton can answer here. It would be nice if they could have the same kind of drive that they just had.
Good kick down the middle of the field, and it's Mitch Bowden. He's going to field on about his 8-yard line. He makes one guy miss. He's dancing again. Now he's rumbling forward. Good job. All the way out to the 29-yard line. So about a 20-yard return, 21-yard return there for the big fella.
He doesn't look like he's going very fast, and he just continues to move his feet, sheds a couple of blocks.
Well, you know what he does is he's not running forward fast, but he's got quick feet. He made 2 guys miss right at his feet. Just a little shift here, a little shift there. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Tigers in a tie ball game on their own 29-yard line. They'll come back to the spread look here. They're going to try for the edge. Oh, good cut. Oh, good pursuit down the line of scrimmage. Actually, going to go for a loss. Austin Lynn saw some daylight and he cut it up. A good pursuit down the line of scrimmage by Harrison LaPierre. Pat, that's the guy you've been talking about.
It looked like Austin had a little daylight there, and LaPierre just closed that gap pretty quickly.
So about a yard loss, 2nd and 11. They'll bring Bowden and Fazoli into the backfield with Will Scott. He's going to go straight drop back. He's throwing for the sideline. Oh, did he make the catch? Oh, Evan Lyons with a terrific play. Warded off the defender, found the ball high in the sky, and came down with it. So they'll advance the ball to the Middleborough. That's Middleborough getting a little taste of their own medicine on that, all the way down to the Middleborough 45-yard line. Evan Lyons, terrific effort there, Pat.
I was watching that play, and the back had a great beat on that ball right off his hands, and Evan Lyons just created space and went up and grabbed that. That looked like to me like it was going to be an interception.
Oh, good cutback there by Fazoli. And he will get about another 7-yard gain. You heard a little roar there. They do have the Jumbotron working, and within some instant replay, maybe they saw the ball hit the ground. We couldn't really tell from up here, but both refs were right there, so we're going to call it a catch. That's a 6-yard gain by Fazoli, 2nd and 4 with the ball on the Middleborough 39-yard line. Going to go to Bowden, cuts it up. He's going to get a 1st down.
Oh, you can't tackle him up there.
And that'll be another first down for the Tigers. The ball just inside the 30 to the Middleborough 39-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Harrison up here just got a free bull ride right there.
That's good for a Tiger first down.
Oh, actually, we got a false start. There was a little flex there before the ball was snapped. Well, that's the first penalty on either team, and that'll be on the Tigers. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Will bring up 1st and 15.
I don't know if Mark Corey got that on film or not, but that ref fumbled that flag coming out of his pocket. We got to get, I mean, what is this?
These are supposed to be the best of the best. That's how you get to the state championship game. All right, so after picking up a first down, the Tigers start 1st and 15 here.
Jackson Ellis, he's going to go to Ellis.
Trying to set his feet. Oh, no, no, it's going to get covered up by the Tigers. Yeah, he's got to try to set his feet there, and even if he's got to hawk the ball out of bounds, instead he takes a sack. So the Tigers, after having some momentum, now face a 2nd and about 22.
Good job by Jack Scaramucci to fall on that ball. It could be a lot worse.
Mooch.
Quick shout out to Mooch's mom and dad.
We're going to have a 2nd and 17 for the Tigers.
Thank you for having him to fall on that ball.
All right, so the Tigers trying to get some momentum back. They're going to throw a slant to Jackson Ellis. It's caught, but no chance for a run after catch there.
Number 7, Bill Scott's pass was complete.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 17.
They're
down inside Middleborough territory, so we'll see what they decide to do here. If they feel
no
like
mistakes, Mike, right? No mistakes?
Yeah.
Look for a quick hitter and something that they can break. Maybe something quick to Frisoli.
We got Frisoli and Bowden in the backfield.
Or just throw it at the Evan Lions. Throw it in his general direction. Put it in the same zip code.
Looking at the sideline for Jackson Ellis, trying to break for the ball, and he can't. Good coverage over the top by Middleborough there, and didn't give Jackson a chance to run that second part of that route. So that'll bring up a 4th down here, 4th and 17. Tigers had a penalty and a sack after picking up a first down in Middleborough territory, and they're going to roll out the punt unit.
Yeah, it's a good call here. Mitch is this is right in Mitch's sweet spot here, where I was watching him warm up early. I wouldn't be surprised if he could put this right inside the 10-yard line here.
O'Brien is back to receive the punt for the Sages.
Be a line shot, aiming for the corner. Gets it just short of the 10-yard line. Let's see, about the 13-yard line. So the Tigers had picked up some first downs and advanced the ball into Middleborough territory, but a couple of mistakes stalls the drive, and they're forced to punt. And with 4:44 to go in the first half, the Tigers will give the ball back to Middleborough. 1st and 10 on the Middleborough 13-yard line, with the score tied at 6.
And Littleton's been a very lightly penalized team this entire year, and you can just see the effect of that. Put them back into 1st and 15 versus where they stay in their sweet spot. When they do what they want to do, they move the ball very easily. But you know, it's those little mistakes right there that can really set you back. You can see that just a 5-yard penalty, one penalty.
So a quick slant, try to get a jailbreak on that, up the sideline. Oh, terrific tackle there by Lyons, short of the first down, ball advanced outside 20. But Evan Lyons with a terrific tackle there right at the shoe tops of the receiver.
Yeah, he breaks that tackle, he's going to go for some yardage.
It's an 8-yard gain, we'll call it 2nd and 2 with the ball on the 21-yard line. I'll tell you what, Pat, Middleborough looks very much like Littleton State Championship team with Alex McLaughlin and Travis Bassett. They run that offense very similarly and very well. They have that same kind of level of execution so far anyway. And they'll go again, same area. Missed tackle. Oh, it's tackled by his own guy.
He knew he was going.
Number 62, Robert Nestor III, is in the stat sheet with a tackle, but unfortunately it was on his own guy. So that is a first down, 1st and 10 from the Middleborough 34-yard line. Sorry, 29-yard line.
I'm watching
Under 4 minutes to go.
The offensive line from Middleborough is excellent. I'm watching Littleton's throwing different stunts at them. Mitch Bowden's getting ahead of steam up, and they're picking up everybody. Make
an option read there. Oh, busts up the middle. And they get tackled right at the midfield, but a big run there, about an 18-yard run for Middleborough.
There's Sewell, right? This is what we were worried about. He can bust it at any time.
Nose of the football right at the midfield stripe. So starting from their 13-yard line, Middleborough comes out and advances the ball all the way to midfield. Tigers would love to get into the locker room here with a tie ball game. They're going to have to find a way to stop this offense. Straight drop back, got plenty of time. Now he's rolling. Trying to get, he's going to cut it upfield, and he'll get about a 4-yard gain and go out of bounds. No! No! That is a terrible call. He did not hit him. He did not make contact with him.
I am very confused. It looked like he just kind of grabbed his shirt on the way out.
He did. It was Brady Hunt. He just slid out of bounds behind the ball carrier. Yeah, that's a bad call.
The ref was intimidated because he was in the middle of the...
Yeah, it happened right in front of their bench. That'll advance the ball down to the Tiger 31-yard line.
There it is out on the big screen here, Mike. You can see it up here.
He doesn't touch him.
Yeah, he pulled away. I think the ref just got fooled by the angle.
Yeah, he literally did not touch him.
Yep.
Yeah, see, now you're hearing they showed that on the Jumbotron, and the Littleton fans are realizing that it was a missed call.
And I'm sure the ref is appreciating the replay on the Jumbotron.
So 1st and 10 from the Tiger 31-yard line. Oh, nice cut up there. They ran the triple option look there. The quarterback decided to cut it up himself, and he picks up a 1st down inside the 20-yard line to the 19-yard line. So
Gavuch got some wheels.
Yeah, he made a good decision there, quick decision. And then once he made that cut, he actually had a running lane right up the middle of the field.
But you know, we're right into Littleton's strength again, right? So now they can't go over the top. Shorten the field here. Tighten it up.
1st and 10, ball on the Tiger 19-yard line. Tie game. Oh, he pumps, throws for the end zone. Oh, great route. They ran that. They froze the defensive backs with the pump fake. And then a nice throw to the back of the end zone. So a terrifically executed play there by Gavuch.
Great route by Colin O'Brien there. He came out down about the 8-yard line, turned and just froze the defenders, rolled away from him. And Gavuch did a great job of selling that by looking to the other side of the field with a quick pump fake. So I think when the defenders looked up, they saw him look at the other side of the field. They froze and he dropped right over the top and in. You want to hate Gavuch, but he's also, I heard, the #1 student in his school, so he's kind of hard to not like.
So there was an unsportsmanlike conduct on Middleborough after the touchdown. So it's a dead ball foul. Now, I think Mike Lynn has the option, Patrick, of taking the penalty yardage on the try or on the kickoff.
Right.
And he's going to take it on the try, which I think is a great idea. It's a 6-6 game. Middleborough did not miss the kick on their first try.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything by taking it on the kickoff. I think it's a great
Well,
call.
you know, I think if you had the lead, you might think about it because you try to get the stop, and if you didn't, you'd still have the lead, and you would take the 15 yards with 2.32 to go in the game to try to shorten the field.
Point, yep.
But I agree with Mike Lynn here. In a tie game, you want to try to, or not tied now, they're down 6, but you want to stay down 6 and not down 7 or 8. So Middleborough will not be able to kick it from this distance. They will line up here to run a play. They are on the 17-yard line, 18-yard line. They're going to roll, and they're trying to flood the end zone. They're going to throw. Oh, he made the catch. He made the catch. He did. Wow.
Flag down. Flag down. They would have legal man downfield, though.
So Caraboyle was right there, but let's see. There is a flag down.
Legal man downfield, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's That'll be a 5-yard penalty, and they'll try again. Kerr Boyle was right there, Pat. He tried to make a play. At that point, I think he was trying to pick it off. He really should have thought about just spiking that ball down to the turf.
You're not going to run this one back here.
Right.
You know, you got to get position on these guys. So as soon as that ball gets up in the air, you got to get around, get in front of these guys, get your hand on the ball, get it down.
So that was a long developing play, and one of the offensive linemen took off downfield. Not sure why. There's really nowhere to go. But that'll be a 5-yard penalty. So we'll try again after the touchdown here from the 23-yard line.
I saw Zachary Jordan, number 51 from Middleborough, banging himself on the head. So I have a feeling it was on him. Turn into a bit of a flag fest here. He's going to go end zone again.
Oh, tipped. That one won't get there.
Oh, he was open too. I don't know who tipped that, but that receiver was wide open.
So it took a while, but the Tigers turn away the try, and it is 12-6 Middleborough here in the opening half. 2:32 left to go in the ball game. And we said, Pat, that the first drive for the Tigers went exactly according to plan, and the second drive did not. And then now all of a sudden, they are 1 for 2 in terms of scoring on their possessions, and Middleborough is 2 for 2, which is kind of the game we thought we were going to see.
Exactly, Mike. You know, basically we're in a game where, I don't know, for lack of a better way to put it, when somebody 5-slam jammas, you have to ram-a-lam-a ding-dong.
And if you don't ram-a-lam-a ding-dong twice, you're probably behind the 8 ball. If you don't match them, the game between St. John's Prep and North Attleboro last night, the two teams scored on 5 possessions in a row between the two teams. So that's kind of the feel you get here. It's whoever cannot keep up on the offensive side of the football is the team that's going to find themselves in a little bit of a hole.
So Mike, we got just about 2.5 minutes to go here. So this is a huge kickoff because if Littleton can get a little bit of yardage out here, there's still plenty of time for them to stay in their run offense and get it down the field.
Yeah, they've got timeouts, so that you're right. If they can, as long as they can make positive yardage.
They're switching up their backs too. They got some speed back there. Austin Lynn, Kevin Frizzoli. It looks like Bradley Clark too.
Looks like that'll be Clark on about the 12-yard line. Oh. It stood up on about the 27-yard line. So let's see, Will Scott's coming out, so they'll go spread here. You're right, Pat, they don't have to throw it here. They can run it. 2:25 to go, down 6. Ball on their own 28-yard line.
They'll start from their own 28.
Bring Austin Lynn in motion. They're going to fake and go right up the middle of the clock. Hey, there he goes. He's going to get a first down. So an 11-yard, 12-yard gain there off the line of scrimmage, up all the way up to the 41-yard line.
You start by number 51, Zachary Jordan. He moves the ball out.
Mike Lynn will let the clock keep running.
2:10 left.
Hustles his team to the line of scrimmage. So Will Scott will roll, look to throw. And get some pressure. He's off the backside. He's going to throw it out of bounds. That will stop the clock.
Number 7, Bill Scott's pass goes out of bounds.
Good job by Will to get that out of bounds and turn it over here.
Yeah, very good game management there. He took, he gave himself every opportunity to find a receiver. He couldn't, and then he just let the ball go out easily out of bounds. We're going to stop the clock in 2nd and 10. Ball still on the Tiger 41-yard line. They'll bring Bowden and Frizzoli into the game. Kind of a full house backfield look here, but they will throw. Straight drive, screen to Bowden. He's got some running room. And he'll advance the ball about 9 yards, just short of midfield.
Looking for a face mask.
Yeah, looking for a face mask penalty. Didn't get it. Nice play call there. Clock is running inside of 2 minutes. 1:50. 3rd and 1, Pat. It's kind of a big down here. They want to move the chains here.
Brings up a 3rd and 2 for the Tigers.
3rd and 2. They're going to give it to Frizzoli. He will get the first down. Now he's to the sideline, and he's just see if Mike Lynn takes a timeout here. Yeah, they're going to signal a timeout. So they convert on 3rd down. They get the ball into Middleborough territory. Looks like they are down to the Middleborough 42-yard line. Littleton will take their first timeout with 1:33 here to go in the game. Like you said, Pat, plenty of time. You can run the ball, you can throw it, you can do whatever you want. And so far they've picked up a couple first downs and feel like they've got a chance to tie this ball game.
Yep. I would say that, you know, right here where are they sitting? They're sitting at the
42 yard line.
42 yard line here. So you got, you know, a minute and a half to go. You got some timeouts left here. I think you kind of just stay with this game that you got going on right now for at least a couple of plays, because even just handing the ball off to guys like Bradley Clark and Frisoli, they look like they're capable of breaking something. You saw Clark get it at the 30-yard line, busted out to the 50. So that's, I think, what you're thinking about trying to get here.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't hurt to throw a couple of pass here or there just to keep that Middleborough defense thinking about that, and they're not able to, you know, jam up the line of scrimmage. They got to honor the whole field, and that opens up those running lanes for the backs. So coming out of the timeout, Tigers have a 1st and 10 with the ball on the Middleborough 42-yard line.
Frisoli and Bowden in the backfield.
And they'll go quarterback draw. Will Scott bounces off the first tackler, gets about a 5-yard gain there. Tigers will go to the line of scrimmage and call a play.
This is a good place to take a shot down the field a little bit.
2nd and 6. Yep, they're going to roll him out. He's looking. He's trying to set his feet. Oh, he's going to get sacked. Oh. So some decent pressure so far in the first half by Middleborough, Pat. Like sorry, you roll to the left. You know, it takes extra time to set his feet, and he doesn't have that time right now. The offensive line just not picking up that blitz action well enough to give him time to set his feet.
Yeah, there's that going on, and there's really not a lot going on as far as the patterns that the receivers are running down this side of the field. You know, I think that if they're going to start rolling out this way, they got to look that drag underneath, right? Come, you know, bring Bowden out of the backfield and drag him across underneath to have some success in there. You're right; it's taking too much time to get set up for these deeper patterns down this left side. And again, he's got to throw across his body coming this way. So
yeah, and then set his feet.
A big challenge when you get somebody in your face.
Yeah, when you're a right-handed quarterback and you're rolling that way, when you go to set yourself, you got to turn your whole body back around, get your shoulders facing the opposite way. So after the sack, that'll bring up a 3rd and 17.
Be patient here. Pick up 8. Austin Lynn in the slot. Ooh, it looks like he went a little early here. Here he comes downfield, though.
Sets his feet this time.
Towards
the sideline.
It's the blitz.
Picked off. Picked off at the 20-yard line. So a decent throw there by Will Scott. He got
Braden Lennon for that. That was
Braden Lennon threw the ball. Oh, good throw by the freshman, but better defense by Middleborough. So with 59 seconds to go, Middleborough turns back the scoring threat. They will take over on their own 21-yard line. They've got timeouts, Pat. The defense is going to have to step up here.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it's a good call by Mike Lynn, and over the course of the season, I've seen Braden and Austin hook up on that. That ball was in the air for maybe just a second too long, but they run great patterns. They work really well together. It's going to be interesting to watch those two play next year.
There was some contact there, not on the guy who made the pick, but the initial defender looked like he was pushing off on Austin Lynn a little bit, but no call by the referees. Throw a quick slant up the middle. You're going to try and make it go. Terrific tackle there by Mikey Crory coming up. No run after catch on that one. That's about a 3 or 4 yard gain by Middleborough. They will take a timeout here with 54 seconds to go. Even though they're, starting to drive 81 yards or 79 yards away from the end zone, they know they're capable of covering that ground in this period, so they will burn the timeouts.
Yeah, and the kid you got to focus on here, and they're having a lot of success throwing to their wides, but you got to focus on Sewell here. We haven't called his name much. He's had one big play, I think. But you know that if he gets the ball on the run, he can bust it. So I would really focus on him. If he's in the backfield, watch him swinging out to one side or the other and just give him a little swing pass and see what he can get. I think if Middleborough can pick up another 10 or 15 yards here, you'll see them take a couple of cracks downfield because Gavuch can really throw the ball.
Kind of double jeopardy here too. The Tigers want to get off the field here, down 1 score, because Middleborough will get the ball to start the second half. Straight drop back. Wakaway looks toward the sideline. It's complete for a first down out of bounds. That'll stop the clock.
Love Pierre again. He just runs good routes.
So ball out to the Middleborough 33-yard line.
That guy that shoot for stage for first down.
49 seconds, first down.
Clock stopped after the receiver went out of bounds, so they'll huddle up and call a play.
Littleton's going to have to figure out a way to get a little more pressure on Gavuch. Here comes Sewell out of the backfield. Here he comes.
Oh, pressure off the backside, sack! Mitch called the ball out. No, they'll call him down. Mitch Corey coming off the edge there. There's your pressure pad that you were just talking about.
There you go. Yeah, they needed that one.
Middleborough will actually call a timeout here.
They show that play again. They were swinging Sewell out of the backfield. And I think that's where Gavuch was going to be going with this ball. You can see it on the replay here. He was looking right at him and just didn't have enough time because Mitch Corey got in on him. Great play by Mitch.
Yeah, coming off that blind side and got a good tackle in there. Gavuch saw him at the last second, tried to spin out of it, but Mitch Corey wouldn't let that happen and downed him all the way back on the Middleborough 21-yard line. So that's going to bring up second and about 21, 22 they call it.
Great turnout here today, Mike. You know, Littleton's crowd is as big as it's ever been, and looking over at Middleborough, I can't believe how many people came to the game. How big is that city?
I don't know. Obviously, I think it's bigger than Littleton. And they're getting treated to a heck of a ball game right now. 12-6.
I know I was up late last night, but those look like 3 giant bananas in the front row over there.
I believe they are 3 giant bananas. Or they're 3 giant, 3 people dressed as giant bananas. Not sure what the point of that is, but
staying warm.
All right, so after the sack by Corey and the timeout by Middleborough, second and 22, ball back on the Middleborough 22-yard line. They're going to throw it down the middle of the field, complete, missed tackle. They're wrapped up short of the first down. Will Scott playing some defense there. And they will bring up a 3rd and 7
Clock's
here.
still running.
Come under 25 seconds to go. We'll look up the sideline. Oh, right inside the middle of the field. That's complete for a first down.
A little too much room in there for me.
Yeah, 14 seconds to go. Ball to the Middleborough 46-yard line, and they will spike it. Stop it. They're out of timeouts. So with 13 seconds to go, they spike the ball. Let's see, Pat, what kind of arm he's got. They don't have to throw to the end zone yet. No, well, they've got time. They only got time for probably 3 plays at the most, maybe 2, depending on how long it takes these guys to get downfield.
They still have timeouts left.
No, I think they're out of timeouts. That's why they spiked it.
That was the first bad pass he threw all day.
It might be the first incompletion. All right, 2nd and 10 here. Tigers trying to get to the locker room, down 6 points. No more than that. So they drop back.
Great backside coverage.
Rolling. He's going to run it, which is fine.
That's good.
He's out of bounds with 6 seconds to go.
End zone time.
Picked up about 7-8 yards, so shortened the field a little bit. He's inside Littleton territory now. The ball is on the Littleton 47-yard line. I think this will be the last play.
Yeah, so this is an interesting place to be, Mike. So it's it's going to take a long time for these receivers to get to the end zone if he goes 45 yards. So what you have to be careful with Littleton is go to this prevent. You can see between the 40 and the 30, there's plenty of space in there, and you really got to watch a kid like Sewell again sliding out of the backfield and just turn it to your best player, see if you can make a play.
Right, missed tackles or something.
This is him down here in the slot in front of us, just at the 50.
So we got 4 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Empty backfield.
I don't have enough to cover him here.
They got some pressure. Oh, they hit him, and the ball is up in the air, and it's going to get picked off by Luke Elliott, but good defense there, some good pressure there by number 9, Tucker DeCoste came in there on a blitz, and they never really had a shot on that one. So after the first half, the Tigers trail 12-6, but are well in the ball game, Pat. And we'll be back with the second half of this state championship game right after these messages from LCTV.
Hey, let's check out this park. That's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Hello everyone and welcome back for the second half of the state championship football game between the Littleton Tigers and the Middleborough Sachems. The Tigers scored first, but the Middleborough ended up scoring on 2 subsequent drives. It is 12-6 here, Patrick, to start the second half, and the Tigers will kick the ball to start the half and have to come out on defense yet again.
Yeah, I think for Mike Lynn, this is pretty well mapped out for him, right? So step 1, you got to stop him here, and then step 2, you got to put the ball in the end zone in one of the next 2 series probably to get back in and see what happens in the fourth quarter. But I don't think anything matters to them right now other than stopping Middleborough on this next drive.
Yeah, they we know that they can run it and throw it, but Middleborough's been leaning on that passing game and doing very well with it to this point in the game. Yeah,
LePierre has been a pleasant surprise for Middleborough on offense, number 11, good defensive player, but a majority of the passes have gone his way, including that fourth down bailout. For Littleton, Luke Elliott punching the ball in from the, it was Luke Elliott punching the ball in from the 1-yard line's got our score here, so here we go.
Oh, they got Pavarir now, they're going to fake it, and they're going to try to go onside kick! Then they got a shot at it! Oh, who caught it? Oh, Middleborough down. They almost had. They executed that very well. They kind of went for the box out move, and the ball took one extra bounce and got back on the other side of the Tiger guys that were downfield. So Middleborough Tigers rolling the dice there, and Middleborough successfully defends that and recovers the ball on their own 48-yard line.
Mike, they had Littleton had that ball surrounded. They just had to wait for it to get to that 10-yard line.
Right.
You can see there on the replay that Kevin Frizzoli actually got in front of the Middleborough defenders, and the ball kind of swooped by him and went out of bounds. Short field now for Middleborough.
Yep, ball on their own 48-yard line, 1st and 10. They'll run it right up the gut. Oh, and here there goes that running game. That's the biggest run from scrimmage for them so far.
Jeremy Sewell.
Yeah, Sewell advances the ball into Tiger territory on about a 13-yard gain, 14-yard gain, down to the Tiger 38-yard line.
Mike Lynn, I love that call. I wasn't even thinking onside kick coming out of there. They threw a really confusing configuration at them, and everything went well except just picking up the ball.
Yeah, I mean that's as close as you can come and not get it. So you can't worry about the outcome when you roll the dice like that. It was a good play, and now they got to see if they can clean this up. Quarterback fakes the handoff, takes it to the left side, tackled by Mitch Crory. Good job there, staying home on the backside of the defense, but it is a 5-yard gain.
He's brought down by number 10, Mitch Crory.
Which is not a big kid at quarterback. He's only 5'9", which isn't particularly tall for a quarterback. He really gets out of there. He's got a really quick first step.
Plays with a lot of poise and confidence. He's very comfortable running that offense, which is impressive for a high school kid because it's got a lot of moving pieces. All right, 2nd and 5. We'll go right back up the middle to Sewell. Oh, he stacked up for maybe a yard. I think that was Mitch Crory again. Mitch Crory having a good game today on the defensive side of the football. Mitch Bowden in on that play too. So 3rd down here with the ball on the Tiger 33-yard line.
Not many teams this year have had success running the ball against Littleton between the tackles.
And give it back to Sewell. He cuts it up the middle. He's going to get a 1st down.
Good tackle on the backside.
Tackle downfield by Evan Lyons and Care Boyle, but not after he ran for a 1st down. Enough yardage to advance the yard markers. 1st and 10 on the Tiger 24-yard line in this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, gut check time here, right? Stop him in here. So they get another 24 yards before the end zone.
Yeah, Tigers trailing by 6 here in the second half. Look to throw. Oh, he's wide open in the flat. Missed tackle, some blocking downfield. Touchdown, Middleborough.
LePierre.
So the Tigers roll the dice with an onside kick try to open the half. They don't get the ball. They give Middleborough the short field. Middleborough takes advantage. Scores to make the score 18-6.
Yeah, Littleton, the Middleborough offensive line did a great job there. They actually stunted and they pulled the tackle to block the backside guys from Littleton. Looked like they were going to catch up to him. One block freed him up for just enough time to get the ball up here.
And then a good block downfield gave him a chance to get the run after catch necessary to get to the end zone. So after kicking on the first try, Middleborough will go for 2 here from the 3-yard line. They bring motion. They're going to roll. They're going to throw it.
Low throw.
And they got it. Yeah, it was complete. So the first conversion by either team today. Middleborough pushes the lead out to 14.
Another flag on the play. Injured
player.
No,
we got an injured player. Mitch Corey's down on the field right now. Now he's getting up. It's good to see him get up. Mitch Corey's going to be a key member of the Littleton High School boys basketball team this year. They're already a week into practice without most of their guys.
Mike Lombard's watching this game at home. He's probably got a few more gray hairs.
But he looks like he's okay. So the opening drive for Middleborough results in a score and a conversion. The Tigers now down 14, Pat. So we'll see how they respond to this. They're certainly not out of it, but they had that terrific opening drive to start the game, and they really haven't responded on the offensive side of the football since then, and now they need to.
Yeah, I think that Littleton can move the ball here pretty well. So, you know, in my head, if I'm thinking about this game, I'm thinking about be patient, score here, and then it comes down to what we came out with at halftime, which is you got to stop Middleton on one. You got to stop Middleborough on one drive.
Good kick will be fielded by Frizzoli on the 14-yard line. It turned out over the 30. And the Tigers will take over on their own 31-yard line, and Mitch Corey back out on the field, so that's good to see.
Let's stay with Will Scott here. You know, it's nice. I know he's only a freshman, but if you do need to start really slinging the ball down the field, you also got a good arm in Braden Lynn.
Yeah, they brought him in for that one throw just because of the strength of his arm. Tigers go up the middle to Bowden, try to bounce to the outside. Oh, flag comes down. Might have a hold here.
Like Tommy Keene was wrapping somebody up.
He's signed by number 51, Zachary Gordon.
So that's a hold. I think they will mark it. Yeah, looks like they're going to walk it off from the line of scrimmage. All right, so 1st and 20 with the ball back on the 21-yard line here. So Tigers in a little bit of a hole, both in the score and trying to get on track here to start their offense on the opening drive. And give it to Rizzoli, he cuts upfield.
Got some room here.
Oh, he's got room, he makes a great cut. He'll get dragged down from behind, but a terrific run there, great blocking downfield by the Tigers. And they will get the penalty yardage back and another 10 or 11 yards and pick up a first down. So they do dig themselves out of that hole. 1st and 10 with the ball, nose of the ball right on the Tiger 45-yard line. Great job there by the senior.
Yeah,
some good blocking.
Good blocking up front. He wasn't touched until he was 15 yards downfield. Made one good cut too.
We'll go right back to him, coming back the other way. He's trying to get the corner, and he doesn't get there.
Number 1, Kevin Frizzoli was the ball carrier for the Tigers.
So Harris and LaPierre doing it on both sides of the football, Pat. He's having a heck of a ball game.
Yep. I think here, you know, what you're looking for now from Littleton is you're looking for somebody to step up, right? So Frizzoli just stepped up on a couple of plays ago. Somebody else is going to have to pick up some slack here.
2nd and 10, no gain on that play. They'll look to throw. Sets his feet down the sideline. Oh, Evan Lyons had broken to the inside, and Will Scott threw it to the outside. Evan made a good effort to try to get back to the ball, but couldn't do it.
Evan had his man beat. I think he made the right cut there. His defender had turned to the outside, and he cut back to the inside. Just a little miscommunication.
So 3rd and 10 now.
Surprised we haven't seen more of Bradley Clark today.
Yeah, they've been switching things up. Playing guys, the 2 tandem backfields.
Keep an eye on Austin Lynn in the slot here.
Shifting guys around, yep. And look to throw, rolling to his right this time. Get some time, throws it towards the sideline. Caught! Yeah, by Austin Lynn. So that's good for a first down. 3rd and 10. It's about a 15-yard conversion. And they will advance the ball into Middleborough territory. 1st and 10 with the ball on the Middleborough 39-yard line. Nice throw there by the junior quarterback.
Yeah, and I was watching Austin coming out of there. He runs really good patterns. Just trying to find that nice spot in the seam there. Broke to the inside, got a defender to bite for a step, back out to the outside, and the ball was waiting for him.
Fazoli with a run there up the middle, gets about 3 or 4 yards. 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Ball down to the Sachem 36-yard line.
It's a little hard to concentrate when they're holding up that sign that has Peter from Family Guy on it.
I'll give it to Bowden. He will rumble forward for a couple of yards short of the first down. They need to get to the 29-yard line and about the 31 or the 32.
Mitch doing what he does, right? Picking up yards after contact. Just keeps his feet moving, and then picks up a yard or 2 after that, and then falls forward for another yard and a half.
3rd and 2 here for the Tigers with the ball on the Middleborough 31-yard line. Low snap, handoff. Oh! Can't get going. He's going to actually take a yard loss on that. It was a low snap. And just broke up the timing of the play. And that'll bring up a, would have got a penalty here?
One coach is going to be very upset at the end of this play. This is unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody's going to blow a gasket.
Definitely a dead ball foul.
You stop at 65, Peter Caligero.
Dead ball.
All right, so just a little bit of extracurricular activity by both teams there in the scrum.
Getting fired up.
So that'll bring up a crucial 4th down here for Littleton. Trailing by 14 with 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Got a solid drive going here, Pat, but they got to keep it going. Mike Lynn's actually going to take a timeout.
This is a good call. I saw Evan Lyons go to the sideline here, so some of your big receivers. I see Jason Benulo in there. It looked like they're going to come out in the hammer.
I don't know on 4th and 5 if that's the right call.
I'm not sure.
4th and 2, yeah, exactly. 4th and 2, I'm thinking fine, but although they can throw out of that look, maybe they go a little deeper into the playbook, that particular playbook.
Yeah, when we were down at the last playoff game, we saw that new look where they threw the high pitch out of the hammer and did the cutback. Maybe looking to put something like that in here. I think Mike Lynn wants to make sure whatever they do, everybody knows what they're doing. Yeah, Evan Lyons coming back in, Austin Lynn. I think they're going to throw here.
Yeah, Will Scott's coming out on the field. Big down here for the Tigers in the state championship football game. 4th and 5.
See what they throw here. It's an interesting formation. I'm trying to find Austin Lynn. He looks like he's in the backfield as well.
Yeah,
see if they roll these guys out of the backfield.
He's going to throw it. It's a halfback option play. He's got the inside.
Got him. Flag down.
Yeah, that's going to be interference. He was getting ridden the entire time the ball was in the air. So Mike Lynn goes for the halfback option pass. Evan Lyons, the intended receiver.
It's like the only Lynn in that family that can't throw a football is Mike.
It'll definitely be enough for a first down if it is pass interference, which it has to be. There's no question here.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
So it'll be a 15-yard penalty, pass interference, enough for a first down, so the drive will keep going.
I can't tell if the Middleborough fans are agreeing with that call or not.
I think he was getting bumped. I mean, this,
no, I'm kidding.
It was an easy
I'm looking at it
call.
on the screen right here. Evan does a great job of getting position. I think it was early on, and it was actually not thrown by the back judge, it was thrown by the side judge. So
1st and 10. They will switch up here. Ball on the 19-yard line. Going to give it to Clock. Stumbled forward for about a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Number 2, Fred Clark was the ball.
So big conversion there by the Tigers on 4th down to keep this drive alive. They get 4 yards on that. Ball's on the 15-yard line.
Good job. I was just watching Brady Hunt holding his block until the whistle.
Number 4 gives up a 76.
2nd and 6. Cut back for Clock. Oh, well read by the Middleborough. Oh, he came off the pile, but the whistle blew.
I think he was sitting on the defender and his knees never went down, but the ref had a bad angle on it, blew his whistle. That was that little cutback we were talking about, Mike, out of the hammer.
Worked well against St. Peter Marion in the district championship game. So now they're going to switch up here on 3rd and 7. They'll go hammer. Sorry, excuse me, they'll go spread.
Trying to get Middleborough with the wrong personnel on. 3rd and 8, it looks like to me. Yeah, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. One-on-one down the bottom of the screen here.
Roll right. Try to set his feet, hooks it towards there. Oh, is it picked off?
They give it to him?
The refs are having a conference about that.
I don't know if he got his feet down.
Incomplete pass.
Yeah.
That is a play where he actually had it. He rolled up and he literally dropped the ball on purpose, trying to kind of make a little bit of a hot dog play.
Oh no, he had that ball.
Yeah, but the problem
that is terrible. No, he bobbled it going out of bounds. This is a good call for Littleton, but the wrong call. He's got the ball there. He rolls out of bounds, and then he drops the ball. Ouch.
So that'll bring up a 4th down, incomplete pass. There is no instant replay in the...
And the Middleborough fans are yelling for Jack Scaramucci. I think they're yelling Mooch. Mooch.
Oh, it's actually, it's got to be 4th down. It's 4th down. It's also, I think they got the, yeah, it's 4th down.
And boy, if this ball ends up in the end zone.
Yeah, 4th and 8.
Littleton ends up scoring. I stay away from the Middleborough sideline if I was a Zebra.
All right, here we go. 4th and 8 for the Tigers.
Oh, they might have got him offside. They did.
They get him.
No, they got an encroachment, I think. Coming at 5-yarder here.
Yeah, you're right.
Here we go.
Well done, Patrick. Well done. Well, now that changes things. 4th and 8. Now it's 4th and 3. So Mike Lynn can think about how he wants to handle this. We'll call it actually 4th and 4. Now it's 4th and 3.
This gives you options now. I mean, I think even at this point, too, you know, you want to put the ball in the end zone, but if you don't score down here, you pin him down here, you can stop him again. There's still plenty of time to get back in this game. So this is actually very, very good. You know, I got to believe you got to go to Austin Lynn here.
They'll bring him in motion. Fake the pitch. It's a slant there. Jackson Ellis! It's caught for 1st down! Inside the 5-yard line. So some big change of events there. The controversial incomplete pass call after what appeared to be an interception. And then a 5-yard penalty for encroachment. And the Tigers convert on 4th down to the 3-yard line. They'll bring the hammer unit out as they try to finish this drive off. Close there. That was Kevin Frizzoli trying to secure the football. Couldn't quite get his feet going quick enough to get to the end zone. He does pick up positive yardage, though. They're down to the 1-yard line as we come up on 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers down by 14, trying to cut into that lead and score for the 2nd time in the ballgame. They scored on the opening drive, but they've been dry since.
This place is about to erupt.
Knocking on the door here from the 1-yard line. Luke Elliott under at the center. A little quarterback sneak, and Elliott is going to look like he's going to get very close to the goal line.
I don't think he got in on that one.
Kind of went down sideways instead of forward. Touchdown, Tigers! He did indeed crack the plane of the goal line.
I honestly, he moved at some point there. He was moving backwards, and forward progress had stopped. I'm surprised they let him get this one in. Take a look at it on the screen here. You can see right here he stopped.
So the Tigers with a very controversial end to that drive, but they take advantage of everything that broke their way and score to cut the lead to 8. They need to make one of these 2 tries, and they also got to get a stop, but they need a try here. Let's see if they can get on this one. They will pitch it to Rizzoli. He's getting clocked off the backside, tries to cut the clock. He's turned away yet again, so Middleborough.
That's big, that's big.
Yeah, will keep an 8-point lead, a full score and conversion lead here.
Kind of reminds me of the West Boylston game a couple of years ago, only now we are the team that's going to march downfield, pop it in the end zone and get it 2. Oh, and they're showing the interception again.
No, it wasn't an interception.
They're showing
it was an incomplete pass. Get your story straight, fella.
They must have photoshopped it because I'm looking at it on the screen. Of course, you look at the NFL, I don't know what it's a touchdown or a catch anymore, so maybe there's a new ruling.
All right, so the offense does their job, gets a touchdown, cuts into the lead. Now, Pat, we're going to need that defense to come out here and find a way to turn the momentum that Middleborough has on the offensive side of the ball back into the Tigers' favor.
I don't think we'll be onside kicking this time.
They're going to bring that look out. So they've got Patrick Reardon, who is ostensibly the deep kicker threat. And then they've got McGregor and Benulo, either one of them, they'll crisscross. They'll try it again. Oh! Goes out of bounds. Flag comes down, is recovered by Evan Lyons, but not until after the ball gone out of bounds.
I mean, not to be critical of kids, but on that left side, the Middleborough kids, you either got to go after that ball or you got to block that guy coming down the field from picking it up, but they just watched it. I'm not quite sure why they just watching the ball go out of bounds.
So that'll be possession for Middleborough, and a 5-yard penalty will take the ball. They'll start with the ball in Tiger territory. And the Tigers trying to have the special team unit get involved in this ball game. They're 0 for 2. I love the attitude, Pat. Love it.
Yeah, Brady Hunt trying to get people fired up here. They need just one stop.
So 1st and 10 for Middleborough with the ball on the Tiger 48-yard line. The ball right up the middle. Sewell get about a 5-yard gain there, dragged down by Scaramucci.
Tackle by Jack.
Yeah, and Tucker DeCosta in on that play as well. It's about a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6.
And Tucker's in on his way for knee surgery as well. ACL, MCL, and one of the other CLs in there too.
Yeah, he had the pre-surgery interview this week. And then he's out here playing in the state championship football game. So there's no way he was going to be denied the opportunity to help his teammates out.
Brady Hunt's going in.
2nd and 6.
They can still run twice as fast as you or I.
That's still not very fast.
Yeah, that's kind of an insult on them.
Sewell breaks out. Some good blocking downfield. Breaks a tackle. He's still going. He's going to try to come out of it again. Oh, he's going to get corralled finally, but not until after he gets inside the 15-yard line. And Sewell has been bottled up all game long. Finally gets loose on that one. That was pretty much all him, especially downfield.
Solid running there. He must have broken 2 or 3 tackles. Kept his feet moving. How far did he go there? 30 yards? 35 yards? Unfortunate for Littleton. You knew they weren't going to keep that guy bottled up all day.
So 1st and 10 with the ball down inside the Tiger 15-yard line, right on the 14-yard line.
Jared Leave coming in, getting some linebacker action. Mike Lombard's worried now.
Quarterback draw up the middle. Oh, he's going to break it. So Middleborough answers right back after the Tigers cut the lead to 8. Middleborough comes back and 2 big runs by their 2 best players. It was Sol on the big run to get down inside the 15-yard line, and then it was Gavouche into the end zone on a quarterback draw. So that puts the lead back to 14, 26-12. And a crucial try here, Pat. The Tigers, 1:28 left to go in the third quarter. They go down 16. It's going to be a tough hole to come out of. Need 2 scores and 2 conversions.
Yeah, shorten the game here, right? So this is a two-point conversion. Stop this one here. You're right, this is a big one. Going to throw
the slant. Oh, nice route. And they convert it. That's Matthew Crowley, number 24, on a good slant there. Good throw by the quarterback.
Yeah, good route. He just stepped right in front of Mikey Corey, used his body to shield. He only needs to go 2.5 yards, and that's exactly what he got out of that. Plenty of time left here, plenty of time.
So the Tigers down by 16, 2 full scores. Scored on their last possession. And right now the defense is finding out that Middleborough comes as advertised. That is a dual threat offense at full throttle. A terrific quarterback and a terrific tailback, and they showed what they were capable of. The big run by Sewell, and then the quarterback draw by Gavouche, and then the throw on the conversion by Gavouche.
You know, and that's one of the gambles you take when you're trying to get the onside kick, and it doesn't pay off against a team like this. They can score pretty quickly. I still love that onside kick coming out of the first coming out for the second half. I thought that was a brilliant call. You got Bradley Clark back there. You know, you can get points on the board in a hurry.
It'll be clocked from the 11-yard line and go to the right side and get tackled out over the 25 to about the 28-yard line.
Just off on number 57, Cameron Rydell for the Stations. Play resumes at the first and 10 Littleton Tigers.
Got to start to be thinking about maybe putting the ball in the air a little bit more here. Got about 11.5 minutes left in the game.
We'll go spread here. Will Scott, a quarterback, to bring Osler in motion. Inside handoff to Bradley Clark. Makes the guy miss. It's about an 8-yard run up the middle.
Number 2, Brett Porter, the ball carrier for the Tigers. Just off by number 28, Ryan Blonsky.
This field clock is waiting to bust one here.
And that guy will just go for Tiger first down.
We'll go right back to clock. He's going to get wrapped up for about no gain. Put him back to the original line of scrimmage. So Mike Lynn sticking to his guns here as we come under a minute to go in the third quarter. Running the ball. Actually, we'll say he got a yard on that. 2nd and 9. A roll, Scott. Set his feet down the middle. Caught by Jackson Ellis, trying to get to the corner. Oh, he's trying.
He might have stretched out and got it.
Yeah, close to the first down.
See where they mark him. They're marking him right at the mark, and they're going to move him.
Yeah. Oh, Jackson Ellis, if he got to the corner, he was going to go. He had a chance to bust it, and he got pulled down in the last second there, last saving tackle. But good for a first down. Right on the 48-yard line of the Tigers. Will Scott, straight drop back, throwing deep. Uh-oh. Picked off.
Face mask.
Yeah, and a face mask on the tackle.
Evan Lyon's got to be careful not to pick up another penalty here.
So the Seagulls will take over first and 10.
So again, the receiver breaking to the inside. The ball went to the outside, and the Middleborough defender read that route perfectly, and was able to reach in and take the ball. And there's an unfortunate penalty on Lyons after that.
Yeah,
it wasn't intentional, but
the defensive back read that one right from the get-go. He never took his eyes off the ball. Watching the screen here, and he actually looked like the receiver. Good call by the referee. Evan Lyons got the back of his helmet pulling him down.
So after the interception and the penalty, Middleborough will take over on their own 39-yard line with 10 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Tigers have got to find a way to stop this offense, Pat.
Got to start to try to strip the ball here.
Yeah, or maybe blitz and try and get some sacks, something like that.
I think you're going to see a lot of, Middleborough here should probably be keeping the ball on the ground. So try to hold the runner up, get the ball out.
Now they'll go inside handoff to Sewell. Get about 2 yards on that. It will be the end of the third quarter. So the Tigers trying to hang in there, down 16, 28-12. And we'll be back with the fourth quarter of the state championship football game right after these messages from LCTV.
Hey, let's check out this park. Wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back for the final quarter of the state championship football game. The Tigers here for the third time in 5 years, trailing 28-12. And Patrick, the defense has to find a way to get a stop here.
They do, and if you were Mike Lynn and you were sitting at this team at the beginning of the season and said, hey, look, I can get you to the Super Bowl, but the only thing is you got to come back from 16 points down in the fourth quarter. Would you take it? Every kid here would have said yes, and I think that's the mindset you want to be in right now. That, yep, this is where we want it to be. We still got a chance. We got a full quarter of football left. 16 points down, let's get after it.
So 2nd and 8 with the ball on the Middleborough 41-yard line. And the quarterback will keep it up the middle.
Number 12,
so big down here. The ball is still outside of Littleton territory. If they can get a stop here on third down, they will force the punting unit from Middleborough to come out on the field for the first time today.
He's up a 3rd and 6 for the Sages. It will be from their own 43.
Throw it in the flat to Sewell. He's going to cut it. Oh, he's going to get a first down. Now he's going to race to the bill. He's going to get tripped up by Corey on a saving tackle, but inside the 10-yard line. So a little swing pass out there, and Sewell did the rest after he caught it, racing upfield. So a big third down conversion there. The Tigers couldn't get it.
Quiet first half for him, but he's really kind of come alive here in the second half. Great pursuit by Mitch Corey.
Yeah. Showing some real athleticism there, but it's 1st and 10, 1st and goal, excuse me, for Middleborough on the Tiger 8-yard line. So not only do they get the first down on the third down conversion, but they get all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Tigers with their backs up against the goal line here. They'll give it right back to Sewell, bounce it to the outside, cut it up, and he's denied the end zone. He gets inside the 5-yard line.
Brady Hunt had a pop at him in the backfield, but Sewell's slippery.
He takes it down to the Tiger 3-yard line.
Second and goal from the 3-yard line here. Tigers already trailing by 16. Throw it, jailbreak, missed tackle, touchdown Middleborough. I tell you, Pat, the more I watch Middleborough play, the more I keep flashing back to Travis Bassett, Alex McLaughlin, Pete Murphy, Matty Jackson, and Brad Magnuson.
Yeah.
They have a lot of those same looks, those same plays. They're executing very well.
Hard to believe that this team actually lost. I know on Thanksgiving I don't think they played their seniors, but Outside of that, I can't believe they lost 2 other games.
Kick looks like it is good. So that'll make it 34-12. The Tigers down by 22 points here. So they need 3 scores and a couple of conversions, and they need to pitch a shutout the rest of the way, and all that's got to happen in the next 7 minutes and 54 seconds.
We saw a football game where a 20-point lead was erased in 1:50, so still hope here. But this will be a big series right here. I think you got to come out throwing the ball a little bit more. It seems like Middleborough's kind of got your running game wrapped up a little bit. Maybe think about swapping out quarterbacks.
Well, the thing is you know, what Littleton has done today successfully is they moved the ball. They have the 2 scores. They had another drive where they got down inside the 20-yard line and got turned back after a penalty and a sack. But they're able to grind yardage out against Middleborough. There's no question about that. The offensive line playing it just as well as they've played all year long. The problem is you don't have that luxury any longer.
Correct.
You know, it's not going to work if you're going to come back out of a hole this deep.
And you know, and talking about swapping out quarterbacks, that's no reflection on little Scott here. You know, Braden's clearly got a pretty decent arm, but just give him something else to look at.
Well, the thing is, you can put Scott into the slot. He goes into receiver.
Exactly.
You know, gives you another weapon to throw to.
Yep.
That'll be fielded by Frizzoli. He's trying to get to the sideline. He gets out over the 30, almost to the 35-yard line.
Number 1, Kevin Frizzoli, head return for the Tigers. We start at number 28, Ryan Plosky. So play resumes. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Littleton Tigers.
So the Tigers will take over here. 1st and 10 with the ball on their own 33-yard line. Trailing by 23 points. They'll bring Frizzoli in motion. They'll go up the middle. The clock. And he'll make a guy miss and pick up a 1st down near midfield. So Clock having a very good game today.
Rambling for another 14 yards.
Yeah, you know, the thing is 14, you know, times 5, you're in the end zone. I'm not saying you're going to get 14 every time. But
you only need 1 score here, right? 1 score to put some pressure. Have a chance.
This time they'll go to the edge. Frizzoli gets shot the gap there. There's number 28, Ryan Plosky, on a blitz. Got in the gap and hits him for a loss.
Number 1, Kevin Frizzoli was the ball carrier.
Got a 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13.
Just up by number 28.
Tigers right back to the line of scrimmage. Throw, quick, oh, Jackson Ellis makes a nice grab there, ball's behind him, and he manages to latch onto the ball, but he had to go down to the ground to do it. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Want to hit him in stride and turn him loose.
Yeah, nice effort there by the senior receiver to make a catch there on a ball behind him.
I think Mike Lynn saw that on the top side, that he could come across. If he catches that in stride, he might have some room, but he's a little behind him.
3rd and 6, rolling to the right, looking downfield, good time. Across the middle of the field, ball's tipped, and goes to the turf. So that'll bring up a 4th down with 6:23 to go. They're going to have to go for it, Pat.
Absolutely. I think you're pretty much looking at the, you know, the game here. So see if they can drag something underneath.
What are they doing here? They're bringing in.
There's a 4th and 6 for the Tigers.
Austin
Yeah,
Mitch.
they switch it up. Braden Lynn's going to come in and play quarterback.
Looking for some here to Austin Lynn. I actually would be looking for him to drag down underneath here, coming toward the camera.
He's back, looking to throw, deep drop, down the middle of the field. Oh, kind of came out a little squirrely. Oh, but Mitch McCrory makes a terrific catch there. So Crory having a good game today. The senior playing both sides of the ball. A huge 4th down conversion by Littleton to keep their hopes alive. And we do have a flag down. I think it was either a
interference.
Face mask.
Face mask on Middleborough on the tackle. So that's going to be another 15 yards. That's going to take the ball inside the red zone. So the Tigers here, Pat, convert on 4th down, and now we're inside the red zone trying to claw their way back into the ball game here.
Braden Lynn just went over to his dad and said, "Dad, man, I could do this all day. Why are you taking me out?"
1st and 10 with the ball on the Middleborough 17-yard line. Scott rolling to his right, sets his feet, tries to run. He's going to bring it upfield, and he'll go down for about a yard loss there. Just couldn't find anybody downfield that was open.
Fortunate that he went down there. There was a defender coming from behind that he wasn't going to see from his blind side.
2-yard loss, 2nd and 12. Ball back out to the 19-yard line. We'll go with Frizzoli and Clock in there. So full house backfield. Straight drop back, screen pass. Frizzoli's open. Gets a good tackle there, so a little bit of a gain, about a 5-yard gain, but a good sure tackle by Middleborough.
Yeah, Colin O'Brien coming up and making sure Frizzoli doesn't get where he wants to.
Good play call there by Mike Lynn. It looked like it was going to go for a little bit more, but the sure tackle brings up 3rd and 6 for Littleton. The ball on the 13-yard line. We get to about the 7. We look to throw for the end zone for Ellis. Touchdown Tigers! Nice job by the senior. Great throw by the junior quarterback, Will Scott. Laid it out to the sideline, and Jackson very patient there. Waited for the ball to come into the area, and then just made an easy pivot to the outside and sure-handed grab in the end zone. So
really great pass by Will Scott there. You're right, Mike. He just put it onto his backside there, let him come and make that catch. That was great pass.
The Tigers will go for 2 here.
Jackson Ellis.
Going to throw, roll in, looking to run, throws, lobs it, and they convert to Evan the Lions.
Here we go.
Nice read there by Will Scott. He's thinking about running or throwing, and when he moved to run, it froze the defense, and then a nice easy lob to Evan Lions for the 2-point conversion. So Will Scott with 2 nice throws there on that sequence makes the lead, cuts the lead to 15 points. It's 35-20, and the Tigers do what they had to do on the offensive side of the ball. 5 minutes to go.
And you know, Mike, one of the things you got to be confident about if you're Littleton is you know you're coming pretty close to these onside kicks.
Yeah, right. 3rd time's a charm.
Yeah, I think so. They're not wrapping up on the Middleborough side. We'll get a good look at it if they try it here. They should be, if Thomas McGregor keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be coming right at it with us.
I feel like they got to try for it. I mean, it's just, just where they are.
That'd be some big momentum. What they should really do here is they should let Patrick Reardon kick it, but before he does, Thomas McGregor should hit him, freeze the other team, and then kick it.
It will be McGregor trying to get the bounce. Oh, the ball's on the ground!
Yeah, I've seen.
There's a flag down. I don't know why the flag.
I think we got offside on Littleton. Yeah, I think one of our guys came early.
No, that'll change the outcome. Then.
A little bit ahead of the kicker.
It could change the outcome if Littleton has the ball.
I can't see.
No, it's Middleborough has the ball, so they'll decline the penalty. Oh, so close. They've been out every time, Pat.
Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Wow. Watching the replay here, very close again. Like you said, though, Mike, I'm not sure that it would have mattered. They would have had to at least re-kick it because I think Littleton was offside.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what to do here.
Maybe the formation on a kickoff.
I think they're just making it up.
Yeah. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty from the where the ball was recovered by Middleborough. So 5 minutes to go. Middleborough will take over in Littleton territory. The ball on about the 45-yard line.
I think this ball's probably going to stand the ground for a little while. See if Littleton can get a strip here and keep something going.
See what Mike Lynn decides if he wants to start burning timeouts. If they do run the ball and stop the clock. Yeah, I'll give it. Sewell will stay inbounds, tackled downfield by Austin Lynn. He gets down inside the Littleton 30-yard line. So you're right, Pat. Sewell is, in the first half, it was Gavouche, the quarterback, who was the dominant offensive player, but in the second half, it's really been Sewell, the tailback. 1st and 10 for Middleborough with the ball on the Tiger 29-yard line. Good tackle there by Mitch Corey, no gain. Sewell bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Actually lose a yard on that. 2nd and 11. Clock running. Middleborough definitely taking their time.
Good for the back judge to put up his hand for 10 seconds. He's up now.
Yeah.
Middleborough's coming out pretty slowly here. I'm not sure they're going to get this play off.
Yeah, you're right. There you go, delay game. So that'll stop the clock with 3:36 to go and back them up 5 yards.
Timeout, I guess, Mike.
Oh, did they call timeout?
Yeah, I think they called timeout.
All right, so timeout by Middleborough with 3:36 to go. They'll avoid the penalty, but stop the clock.
I think if you're in there and you're talking to your Mike Lynn, right, you're still looking here, you still got a little bit of life, need a quick turnover, you got to stop him here, but I think you're really down to trying to strip the ball away and get the turnover.
Yeah, that's what it's got to be. It's got to be some kind of turnover. However you can get it done, you got to try and get it done. And so far, actually, I don't think that Middleborough's turned the ball over at all today. They haven't had to punt. They've really executed at a high level today on the offensive side of the football. And we talked about it. We knew that we could score. 20 points is a good total here in a championship level game. The problem is the offense for Middleborough is just playing at an even higher level. After the timeout, 2nd and 11. They'll go with a pitch. Oh, Luke Elliott couldn't get the angle he needed to keep him in the backfield. And they'll pick up a 1st down, run down from behind by Brendan Kalari. That's a big 1st down, keeps the clock moving, takes the ball inside the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. The Middleborough with the ball on the 14-yard line.
Number 51, Brendan Kalari, for the Tigers. But his yardage is good for another 6 and 1st down.
It's like Mike Lynn swapping some people out now, trying to get some playing time. Danny McCarthy in the game.
Oh, he'll throw it. Wow, that's kind of a gamble there. I think the coach is going to tell him, listen, fella, let's gear it down just a notch in the terms
One
of the
score game with 2:50 left. That would have been interesting.
The risk versus reward factor here, okay? Yeah, Mike Lynn's making some subs. Bowden coming off the field. Kalari, Mitch Corey's had a terrific game today. Made a big catch to keep a drive alive. He's had a bunch of tackles for losses. Like you say, Pat, you know, at the beginning of the season, if Mike Lynn had told these guys, you know, if you do what I tell you to do, the way we tell you to do, we'll get you to Gillette, they would have said, we'll do it, and they did do it. And, you know, they played terrific all year long. They got to the championship game for the 3rd time in 5 years. Looks like they're going to get a touchdown from Middleborough. Looks like it's not going to end exactly the way they wanted, but the fact that they got here is really representative of the strength of the program and the commitment that these 15, 16 seniors have on this to this program and the way they've represented themselves this year. Central Mass champions. And getting to play here on the home of the New England Patriots.
Yeah, Mike Lynn was talking about, you know, it's all about building consistency and success, and you know, I think that's what he's looking at. He's got a lot of young kids on defense. So a lot to build on here. I don't think anybody expected him to come here again. If you told them they could be here in the fourth quarter with a chance when they came out, I think every single kid would have taken it. So Brady Hunt coming off the field. Connor Lyons getting some time in there. Spencer Weldon getting in. At one point I was looking, Mike, and I noticed that the entire defense, except, not the front line, but everybody was a junior or under for much of this season, so you get a lot of that coming back. You are graduating a fairly big part of your offensive/defensive line, but Mike Lynn's always been able to rebuild with tradition and consistency, so we'll see what comes out next year.
Yeah, he's got 50-plus kids playing football, so they are graduating a large senior class, but he's loaded in terms of numbers, and he's definitely got a pretty good pipeline of talent. We saw it. That's obnoxious. That's really obnoxious.
That'll be remembered.
Yeah, there's no need for that. There's really no need for that. It's too bad Middleborough had to do that. They're going to win the game.
Yeah, good for them. The coach can go home and tell everybody what a genius he is.
Getting back to the Tiger situation, we saw Braden Lynn come in to make some throws. He's definitely a chance to be the quarterback next year, even though Will Scott's coming back. Will Scott is a terrific, multifaceted athlete. The idea of putting him in a receiver, running back position is something Coach Lynn's clearly going to be thinking about, because he's going to lose Clock and Frisoli, his two best tailbacks this year, although Bowden was a very effective runner. He's back next year.
Yeah, you need somebody to complement Bowden and his running style, and maybe Will Scott fits that, or maybe Will Scott stays it underneath the center and they find somebody else to do it. We saw Robert Dooley running earlier this year. He was looking pretty good out there. So a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, Middleborough hasn't been in a championship level game as a football team since 1983, so they probably don't really remember how to conduct themselves accordingly, whereas the Tigers have been here very frequently, 3 times in the last 5 years, and clearly understand how to comport themselves.
Flag down here. Gonna get someone on the coach. On not sure how they ended up in our bench here. Let's see what happened.
I think that a Littleton Tiger blocker had locked up one of the Middleborough defenders and literally blocked him out of bounds, and while he was out of bounds continued to follow with the blocking.
Getting to your point, Mike, Littleton clearly remembers how to conduct themselves when certain things happen. Interesting to see what happened here.
So the Tigers doing a good job here. You see Will Scott, Jack Scaramucci doing a lot of high-fiving out there, letting themselves know that today didn't go the way we wanted it to, but the season definitely went the way they wanted it to. We achieved at a really high level, and they're telling themselves that here with 2:04 left to go in the ball game. They're not losing sight of what they achieved, so that's good to see.
Yeah, good group of kids too. And I coached with a guy, played in '85 and '86 Cornell lacrosse teams. They went to 2 championships. They lost both of them. He says that their reunions have like a more of a showing than the teams they played, Maryland and I can't remember who the other one was, but there's a life experience here, and down the road they're going to look back on this season and realize what an incredible accomplishment it was.
Exactly. The outcome really, even if they had won, they won't feel in 10 years a lot differently about the fact that did we win or lose is irrelevant. We got there. We executed over the course of an entire football season and got ourselves there as a unit. That's what it's all about. The outcomes are very much meaningless, and it's about the commitment to each other as a group, setting those goals and working together to achieve those goals, and they achieved everything that they could have possibly imagined or dreamed of for themselves, and regardless of the outcome today, that cannot be taken away from them. And you can see them on the field telling themselves exactly that already.
It's going to be a loud bus ride and a loud welcome when they get back to Littleton, I believe.
Give the ball, and they picked up a first down on the previous play. That's Kevin Frizzoli. So we talked about the seniors, Frizzoli and Clark, the tailbacks. And then, you know, we had that great offensive line, all seniors, Jake Kivlin, Brady Hunt, Thomas McGregor, Jack Scaramucci, and Tommy Keenan were the 5 guys. When they go hammer, they would bring Mitch Corey and Jason Benulo into that unit. Those guys are all seniors. They were really the key to the success of this team this year, was that offensive line and those 2 senior tailbacks. Looks like that might be the last play from scrimmage. Looks like the final score will be 43-20. We knew Middleborough could score the ball. They proved that. And Littleton represented. We're in the game for a long stretch. Just a little bit too much on the offensive side of the football by Middleborough. And that'll be under 10 seconds to go. So the Tigers, for the 3rd time in 5 years, have advanced here to the state championship game. Middleborough will win the game today, but the Tigers had to be proud of themselves. A terrific season and a massive achievement to get here for the 3rd time in 5 years. This group of kids, you know, have been here all 3 times. Well, actually, sorry, they've been here twice. They were on the team that came here the 2nd time. They were freshmen. So Mike Whitlin with 53 wins in that 5-year span, and these guys, this group of players on the field going through the handshake line, contributed to half of those wins in that stretch. So for everyone at LCTV, I'd like to thank Mark Corey and Kirby Dolak for schlepping all their equipment down here, and being, you know, Pat and I sound like we know what we're doing, but we really don't. Those 2 guys actually do know what they're doing. We appreciate the effort they made, and we'll be back with some more telecasts next year. For LCTV, I'm Mike Fontel along with Pat Frederickson. Thanks for joining us, everybody.